Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. I had a viewer send me a very interesting yet disturbing video concerning something that is going on in Michigan. I want to go ahead and roll the video and let you see and hear for yourself what is happening, and then I will come back with some additional commentary.
The FBI and Michigan State Police arrested 6 individuals charged in a federal complaint with conspiring to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. According to the complaint, unsealed this morning, Adam Fox, Barry Croft, Ty Gar, the FBI and Michigan State Police arrested 6 individuals charged in a federal complaint with conspiring to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. According to the complaint, unsealed this morning, Adam Fox, Barry Croft, Ty Garbin, Caleb Franks, Daniel Harris, and Brandon Caserta conspired to kidnap the governor from her vacation home in the Western District of Michigan before the November election.
On account of the state, we have additional charges, so I'd like to announce the following preliminary charges pursuant to the Michigan Anti-Terrorism Act against 7 individuals, all of whom are now in custody, linked to the militia group Wolverine Watchmen and associates of Wolverine Watchmen. The individuals in custody are suspected to have attempted to identify the home addresses of law enforcement officers in order to target them, made threats of violence intended to instigate a civil war, and engaged in planning and training for an operation to attack the Capitol building of Michigan and to kidnap government officials, including the governor of Michigan.
As you see, civil unrest is on the rise in the country. Many people are very uncomfortable with the present situation here in the U.S., and so therefore a lot of people are nervous, frightened, unclear about their future, and angry. So many different emotions are flaring up right now, and as you see, these militias in Michigan are willing to take things into their own hands and actually planning something on this scale in this day and age. They are trying to get a civil war started, and a lot of people are, just nervous about these things. But what that says to me is that we need to be a lot more serious about the times that we're living in. This is why we talk about so many different things, and a lot of people don't see the connection in these things. When we talk about repairing relationships, not just with husband and wife or friends and family, but even between black men and black women. Repairing relationships is very important because there will come a time where you're going to have to join together with others to secure yourself and your family a lot better. And you never know who you're going to need. Civil unrest is not just, people trying to storm the Capitol, but also shortages of food, in which we've been talking about that. The dollar crashing, just all kinds of things are happening. Businesses are closing. People are losing jobs. You name it, it is happening right now. And on top of that, you have this pandemic that a lot of people have been affected by in one form or another. And so when you add all of this together in one big pot, you have a recipe for disaster. And so this is not playtime. This is not a time to be dealing with frivolous issues. This is a time to where we definitely need to tie up all loose ends, because people are just getting rattled right now. They're very, very upset with the present condition and how things are being ran in this country. And they are willing to make moves in certain directions because of how they feel. Okay. A lot of these people are not afraid of what the law is going to do. Thankfully, in this case, someone got wind of this. An informant told them of what was going to happen to stop it from happening. But what if it doesn't happen in every situation? What if someone else is planning something similar somewhere else and there's no one there to stop it, you see? And so I can imagine that governors all over the United States are going to be on high alert, not just that, officials, period, because there was even information where they're trying to get the addresses of law enforcement because they are ready to do something, you see? And so it appears as though they don't care what the person's status is, that they are not off the table in terms of what these militias want to do. They want their way, and they feel that getting their way is going to be achieved by doing things such as this. It is not for us to fear, but it is for us to get a grip on reality. Some of you may not be old enough to remember the 1980s, but let's just say this. The 1980s are gone. For me, that was a time that was very calm-spirited, if you know what I mean. I know for some, it may not have been that, but if you can think back, if you were around in the 80s, that was a very calm time to be alive, okay? I'm going to even say the late 70s, okay? And I'll even take it as far as the early 90s, okay? Things started to heat up after that, of course, but just thinking back to those times, we are so far removed from that when you think of 2020. Right now, we are in a very detrimental time. We're in a time where things are so uncertain for everyone that you wish you can think back or go back or take a night train to the past. You know what I mean? But there is no going back. We are here and we have to deal with what is happening today. You see, I'm not trying to get anyone to fear, but I'm trying to get you to understand the time that we're living in and to lay aside foolishness. Okay, there's a lot of foolishness in the so-called Black community, too much to even talk about. And, frankly, I just don't understand how we can be so unfocused as a people with all that is happening. Just so stuck in ignorance, meaning ignoring reality and what it is we must do in this hour. How can we be in this state of mind with all that is happening? Michigan is my stomping ground. I wasn't born in Michigan, but I spent the majority of my life there. So, of course, anything that is happening in Michigan is near and dear to my heart because I have a lot of family and a lot of friends and acquaintances there. So, of course, I care about what happens in Michigan. So this was, it wasn't a surprise to me because I do see that the economy and the world in general is becoming more and more unstable. So I wanted to touch on this story, and thanks to the viewer who shared the story with me, because these things are very important to pay attention to. They just are. Okay, so if you can pull your mind off of the frivolous topics of the day of what's going on in the hood, pay attention to this. Okay, pay attention to the civil unrest that is unraveling. Pay attention to the food shortages and the dollar crashing and all of these very important issues that are on the rise. The talk about civil war and all of this. Okay, so much is happening, and we just don't have time for foolishness. Okay. Well, I am done with this video. I just wanted to share this, especially for those of you who live in Michigan. Okay, be on alert. Wherever you are, be very careful, be very prayerful, okay? Stay awake. Do not be lulled back to sleep, okay? I'm done with this video. If you haven't already, please share and like the video. And with that, I am out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.